So good morning, everybody. So glad we're going to be able to have this property tour with Umair Haq. So glad that he is able to share what he has been learning and doing. Umair, are you there?
Good morning. Good morning. Yeah. Can you guys hear me? Mic check, mic check.
Yes, I can definitely
See if
hear
I can get
you.
my video started and spotlight it.
Okay. Well, before you get started, I just wanted to say, tell us something about, what you were doing before you even became an investor in real estate, if you don't mind sharing.
Yes.
Oh, you're muted.
Okay. Unmuted
Okay.
myself. Well, I started with the group 7.5 years ago, and I was doing a bunch of stuff. I was going to community college here in Virginia. I'm in Virginia, and I was working to get my associate's degree. My sister's a fourth grade teacher. And so originally I was like, well, why don't I just follow in her footsteps? So going to Nova Community College, just taking the pre classes, and just miserable. It was really expensive. It was like $350 a credit, and I needed like, I don't know, 60 or 70 credits just to get my associate's degree. So I was going to community college. Believe it or not, I used to do some professional boxing and mixed martial arts, but I never wanted to fight for a living. Unfortunately, I was forced to. I wrestled in high school. I'm an athlete. And really, I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I had no idea that I would be a real estate investor if you would have asked me when I was a kid. And I remember driving for Uber all over Washington, D.C. I was even delivering food for this company called Postmates, where I was going door to door, getting people their food. And it was tough. So I was working multiple, I guess you would call them side hustles, and just not making what I wanted to make. At the time, after everything was said and done, I was still making less than $30,000 a year. And I originally found out about real estate investing like everyone else, maybe. Like I was on the University of YouTube. I was trying to figure out how to become an investor on Bigger Pockets. I was on all of these different platforms, literally doing circles, right? And I didn't mind paying for things, but it was like thing after thing after thing. And then one day on my way home from the gym, I saw this sign. It said real estate investors seeking students. And I thought it was like a local guy. And I was like, I wanted some guidance. I ended up calling that number. They introduced me to the group, showed me a step-by-step process that was revolved around real people in an environment. And ever since then, I've just been, making money, doing deals, and living my best life. So that's the short end of it. There's a lot of things that happen in between there, but me and my wife are now full-time real estate investors, and we get the opportunity to even help others. So it's been really gratifying.
Wow, it sounds like you've done a lot of different things before you came to this community,
Yeah.
as well as how you found the community. So from there, what have you been doing since you found the community, and what have you liked, and what have you been doing, and go right into the property tour as well.
Yeah. No, let me just give you guys a little background. So when I started, I I kept wanting to do wholesaling because that's what I kept hearing about, and I didn't have a lot of money or credit. So for so long, I tried to wholesale property, but what I didn't realize is, yeah, maybe the concept, I got the concept, but negotiating deals, talking to sellers with no experience, understanding the contracts, really being able to provide value to those sellers, I wasn't good at. So I tried wholesaling for a while. And then when I actually found the group, I got into learning how to flip houses. I did my first fix and flip in Woodbridge, Virginia, and I ended up making $43,000 on that deal. I was so excited. And if I'm being honest with you guys, I had never had that much money in my account. So I blew it. I blew it. I bought all my friends shots. We went to the clubs. Like we just had fun. But that, but after that deal, I knew that I did a process that was duplicatable and I knew I could do it again. So I started off doing some flips, and then I stumbled upon some deals that um, I didn't have the bandwidth of doing. So then after finding deals, I ended up wholesaling a few. So I made a couple $1,000s wholesaling. after I did my first fix and flip. I did a couple more fix and flips, and then I got into land development, started building houses from the ground up. And now I've created the business model that I'm going to show you guys today using the system and the processes and the tools that you guys gave me. So I'm just so grateful for the group and team. And now, you know, me and my wife basically live off of our businesses and revenue, and it's super exciting. So there's a world of a difference when you change the environment and the people that you're hanging out with on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. So, and yeah, any other questions before I get started? What I'm going to do today is go into one of our main business models now, and I really like to do opposite of what everyone else is doing. And I'll give you many examples of how it's made me thousands and freed up my time. But anything else you'd like to ask before I dive into the featured property tour today?
I just wanted to say to everyone, please welcome the ones that are still coming in. Please type your name in the chat where you're chiming in from. If you have any questions, please type them in the chat. Umair loves the feedback, you guys. So you gotta give him something. You gotta ask him questions, and definitely let him know that you are here. So, Umair, take it away.
All right, awesome. So I just bought, I'm going to share my screen with you guys just so this is fun, so you guys can actually see everything. Here's my desktop. Well, first, let me just share myself. So I just bought these, I don't know the exact date. We've been buying so many now, but we bought this deal that we're featuring today recently, and it's actually 2 plots of land. Well, no. It's 3 plots of land. I've been building and massaging a relationship with these sellers that are retiring. They're ready to pass on their properties. So we bought 3 plots of land, okay? And it gets a little bit complicated, so really tune in here. On one plot of land, I had purchased a mobile home for real cheap. And then, but I didn't own the land, right? Because I was still negotiating the land with the seller. So the owner of the home and the owner of the land were 2 different people. So I bought the mobile home for cheap, and I'll show you the prices, but I bought it for around 3,000 if I remember correctly. And what I'm going to do in a nutshell, and I know this is going to get a little bit heavy for beginners. What I'm going to do is a lease option, and then I'm going to sell that home, the trailer, for like 50 grand. I know. I mean, the returns are ridiculously amazing with what I'm showing. So I bought that trailer first. I fix it up, and then I put some good people in it that eventually want to own the trailer, but I hadn't owned the land yet. I was still building a relationship and negotiating with the landowner. So there's one piece of land with the trailer on it, and then right next to it is another piece of land. We'll call that, so there's Perry Street and there's Washington Street. And then a couple miles down the road, there's another piece of land that she owns. And on this piece of land, there are 3 2-bedroom, 1-bath, cinder block built houses. Okay, only one was rented, and it's on one plot of land. Okay, so it's a total of 3 parcels. All right, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you guys the whole deal, and I'm gonna try to break down exactly how you can duplicate a similar process for yourself. All right, I'll give you guys some direction today. So the first thing I want to show you is I've got so just so you guys know, let me come off so you can see me. So I live in the Washington, D.C. area, okay? And a house is at least $700,000 to $800,000 where I live. And you can make a ton of money in my market, right? But I wanted to position myself in a cash flow market where I can make extreme cash flow with little bit invested. And so there's different reasons why you invest in different areas, right? So I want to explain to you guys, this is about 8 hours away from where I live, and I've been able to create amazing cash flow without ever being at the properties. So let me go into the tour. So I've got some videos. The first video I'm going to show you is the video of the trailer. So I saw this trailer, and a lot of times people are scared of ugly. I love ugly. And and I'll explain to you guys why. Like in the Washington, D.C. area, I see a lot of investors wanting to do like condo conversions or these fancy fix and flips where everything's all beautiful. And those are cool. But I like going opposite from what everyone else is doing. Think about this, guys. When the market crashes, right? The real estate market, if and when the market crashes, what's the first market to go? You guys ever think about this? The first market to go is always the luxury markets, right? Because the market just crashed, so less people are buying the luxury deals. So as a conservative investor, I wanted to position myself in a place where I can make extreme cash flow with not much risk. So let me show you guys this video. This is the trailer before I bought it. This is the piece of land that I didn't own at the point. So I'll have you guys watch this.
With it, but this trailer right here, that tree's kind of big, but this trailer, they want $4,000 for. I think I could rent it out for 600. Let me walk the exterior first.
So I wouldn't even live in something like this, right? But other people will. You got to step out of your own experience, right?
This is the.
And this is before I had actually bought it.
Yes. It's central.
And while you're showing that, Umair, they're asking the question of where is this located?
This is this is my South Carolina portfolio, rural South Carolina.
That's the outside. This tree's a little bit of a concern.
So the lady who owned this, or her daughter sold it to me, she had died. And the lady didn't want to have anything to do with this trailer, this area. It was all trashed. Oh, I guess that's the exterior. Now let me show you guys what the interior looked like. And so that was the exterior. Oh no, hold on. This is the interior of before I bought it. And again, I'm not making this HGTV ready. I'm just. And when I first got into this, I was like, wow, people actually live like this?
So I might need to have those worked out or worked on. The living room area. These trailers are there. Straight right now. The laundry area. This is the master bedroom.
So
It's got
real
stuff in it right now, but this is all gonna be cleared out.
Yeah, Jason. The mom was living here. She had passed away. The daughter didn't want nothing to do with it. She wanted to make some quick cash. And this is where she was living.
Maybe a little bit. Everything works, everything's functional.
Just a mess. I think it was sitting for a couple weeks.
Entry. This is a small little room right here. So,
Yeah, well, I go to this area usually twice a year. I go to this area twice a year just to do some inspections and make sure all the people that are working for me are doing what they're saying they're doing. And now I don't even have to go. But when I first started doing business, I was doing things solo. I know this place is gross. Most people look at this stuff and they're like, man, I ain't messing with this. They're looking at it emotionally, where I'm looking at the numbers and what could be, right? So this is, and then when I had one of my handyman Now I had come back home to Washington, D.C. I had bought, I think, 8 deals, and then I put my people to work, and they're doing minimal stuff. So this is afterward. It was just painted, cleaned up, and then we have a handyman and his wife and 2 kids living in this, and he just wants to live in it and fix it up. I'm gonna sell him the trailer and the land, so they get home ownership for $49.9, being the bank, right? So I call it, my name's Umer. I call our bank Bank of Umerica, and everybody's welcome to Bank of Umerica. Well, people who do what they say they'll do, right? Because I do have some sort of criteria. So let me show you. There's no audio here, guys, but all I had my guy do, I'm on, you could see me at the bottom, but one of the guys that works for me, and he is just saying, hey, Mayor, I cleaned it up. I painted it. We're going to list it, or I've got people who are interested in it. I've just built such good relationships, and I take care of the people who live in my unit so well that they just start telling everyone about me. Now, again, this is not a rehab. It's just cleaning it up, making sure that it's livable. So then someone who wants to do a rent to own can come and put their own pizzazz on it, right? And I'll be able to answer the questions. I'm just gonna have you, let me take a look at the questions, but look at this. This isn't some nice rehab. I'm like, dude, clean it up, add some stuff, make it functionable. And whoever wants to own the land and the trailer later, I'm gonna let them do their thing, right?
Yeah, some of the questions we're getting is, how did you find the opportunity?
So the way I've been finding deals, so I bought one little mobile home park in the area, and I found that on so there's a class called Real Estate Foundations, and they teach you how to find classes in 6 minutes. Some of you guys that are listening, I did that process, found my first park, and then I just started building a team in that area. I started telling everyone what I was doing and providing value to everyone in that marketplace. And I'll give you guys some examples. And then as word spread, I'm a firm believer that word of mouth is still the best way of marketing. And as people got to know that what I was doing, and that I wasn't just money oriented, that I was providing value to everyone involved, word spread like wildfire. And I find all my deals just because I take care of everyone involved, whether it's my sellers find me deals. So I bought 6 houses from one seller in the same area, and me and him built a relationship, and he's been in the area for over 25 years. He even used to be a cop. So he started telling people about me, and we're just, as long as you provide value to the marketplace, you will never need to spend $1 in marketing. Right? I like to keep things super simple. And I know everyone likes to try to make it way more complex than it is. But I also have learned some sales tactics, and I can cover some of those with you if we have time, to ensure that I'm going to get the deal, right? So look, it's not great. I'm not here to wow you guys, but I will wow you with the numbers. The aesthetics aren't, amazing.
Before we go over the numbers, Umair, some of the other questions that we're getting is, what made you decide to pursue this particular area? And then also, do you have any property managers managing these properties for you?
I have people that I pay 1099, but I don't have a property manager. Now, some investors prefer to have a property manager, and I considered that for a while. I actually had a property manager. His name was Ken, and he unfortunately died during COVID, from COVID. And my whole business almost went down. I was like, oh my God, there's holes in my business because I relied on Ken so much. But every obstacle has been an opportunity for growth. So when Ken passed, I said, you know what? I have the time. All my other businesses are cash flowing, and they're pretty much automated. How about I try to manage it from afar? So I started learning and doing a lot of things. And now, I really find a lot of joy in self-managing. So I'm currently self-managing all of the units. And what I found is it's better for me because now I know my tenants know me. I'm not just hiding behind some manager, and things have actually become easier now that I'm self-managing. Now, that might not be the case for everybody, but I spend probably maximum 2 hours a month, maybe 3 hours a month because of the systems I've put in place. So this is the outside, guys, of, remember, there's 3 pieces of land. This is the trailer that I bought before I owned all the land. So I bought the trailer from the girl whose mom had passed, and then I got renters in here, and it's making this one is making $600 a month right now, cash flow. So let me exit this.
Wow. Another question we're getting is, what is the turnaround time of when it was prepared to be livable from the time you got it till?
So with the trailers, they're so small, and we're not doing like craftsmanship type of rehabs. It took 2 weeks to get everything done. 2 weeks. So guys, that was one. Now, what I'm going to show you guys next is the plans and what else is happening. Now, I just bought the where is it? I put it on my YouTube. I just bought, I'll show you guys this video. So these 3 little houses came along with the purchase, and I want to show these to you guys as well. So check it out. And you can continue to ask me questions. And then for those of you that are already plugged into our real estate investing group, I'll give you the exact blueprint to duplicate the model if you want to create some cash flow to live off of.
What's up, everyone? I'm getting ready to meet with the seller of, this is 3 cinder block built houses on one parcel, and each one rents out for $650 a month. I'm meeting with the seller here. She's older. She's wanting to sell, just get out of the business. And so what I would do with these is rent them out, or even sell them on a note to another investor. So I'm going to show you guys the properties real quick. Nothing special. Simple country living. These are great little strong built houses. Check it out. Okay, so this is one of 3 properties on the same parcel. They are 3 2-bedroom, 1-bath, cinder block built houses. I know this one's already rented out. The one back here might be as well. These dogs are throwing a fit. They don't know me. Go ahead, German Shepherd. Beautiful. This one is vacant. It's going to need a little bit of work. These are cheap little investments that'll cash flow for years to come. And I love those cinder block built houses because they're bulletproof. Now, there's some landscaping and things that I will have done. And I got to see how big this plot of land is. But again, 2-bedroom, 1-bath, cinder block built houses. These can't be any more than 700 square feet a piece. But we're going to find out soon. And I'll keep you guys posted on if I actually buy this thing and the returns and how it goes. Thanks for tuning in. This is 399 Campbell Street. Ain't nobody lived in here for a while, but doesn't look too bad. It's dirty. Spiders, but
Ooh, ugly. Ugly is good. Ugly is good.
All right now.
So while you're showing this, another question we're getting is the software you use to self-manage, as well as, do you
Is
like paying yourself as a property manager
one
for
of
your business?
each.
Let me just mute this as you guys can just see me going through it. Now that's the seller, man. This the seller's car. Oh, it was such a fun negotiation, because she was hilarious. But yeah, I pay myself. Well, what I do, I don't necessarily separate what I do. Like all the revenue comes in right now. We're floating around for just the South Carolina business around $23,000 of gross monthly income, but obviously I don't get to keep all of it, guys. There's taxes, there's insurance. Yeah, I factor some in for vacancy rate and stuff like that. And then but I'll show you kind of what I do. But I don't pay myself separately from property management. Out of all the companies that we have, I basically, if I want to live off of it, if I want to take a vacation, if we're going on a cruise, if I want to do stuff, I just take a distribution, and I pay myself, right? So if, I got money in the bank, I just take that money out of the business and go blow it on whatever I want, because ain't no point in making all this money if you don't have fun with it. Right? So hopefully that answered your question. Right.
Also, are you using any type of software? How are you managing the property?
Yeah, so with the group, there's the investor operating system, and I use the investor operating system to do a lot of my day-to-day stuff, a lot of my marketing. What I realized, and even in these rural areas, people still check their mail. So I'll do creative mailing campaigns, um, just based off of what I've learned with the group. So yeah, hopefully that's helping. So I use the investor operating system to find the deals and then manage them on the Scrum board. So I know what I've got. And then all my documents, all of my closing docs and things like that, in addition to having a copy on my iCloud, I keep them on the CRM system. And it's been a blessing.
Before you get to the numbers, everyone's asking about the numbers as well. But the other thing was, how do you market the place again?
Well, a lot of my tenants are now remember, I'm a big relationships kind of guy. So all of my tenants, their friends, people that they work with at the supermarkets, the gas stations, they're telling them about me, like, man, this guy Umair will help you own the property. And I've learned this, one of my mentors, I'm just so grateful for this group because I could have never figured all of this out on my own. One of the mentors that teach the group how to do all these things, his name is Bill. He just gave me the formula and I ran with it. So I'm a firm believer that success leaves clues. So I copied this, but then I adjusted it to make it my way, my style, because ultimately it's my business, right? Now let me go into, well, and sometimes people don't believe me for how cheap I buy these properties, and I'm gonna go into the plan, the process, but and I'll also give you guys the exact blueprint of what I went through to really develop my own model, and hopefully it helps you guys. It's passing down the torch, if you may. And I can't see the chat box, so if you guys have questions, let me know.
You're doing fine. You're getting all the questions. He answered this earlier, but I'll let Umair say it again. He said you don't physically see all the properties you're buying before you buy. Is that correct?
Not physically, no. I did initially, like I drove 8 hours just to put my boots on the ground because I wanted to make sure that, I in the beginning you're a little bit nervous, right? Like anything, you're scared, but through that frustration or that scaredness always comes growth, right? So I drove down there, took my time, laid eyes on it, built my team. Now when I buy houses, like I'm buying another 3-bedroom, 1-bath brick house. I think at the end of this month. We haven't ironed out the details yet, but I'm not gonna go. I've got a team, guys. My attorney knows me. I've handed over a power of attorney document. Um, they know what I expect. The people at the county know me. It's like It's great. It's great. So now I don't, but when I was laying down the infrastructure and systemizing the companies the way that they teach you how, I was like, okay, I know what I got to do. Let me just follow the formula. So to answer the question, not anymore. All right. So what I'm going to do next is just show you guys the numbers and how everything works. Where is it? So sometimes people don't believe me. So, so I am going to show you a copy of the HUD statement. They're like, Umair, no freaking way. All right. So let me just do it this way. All right. So this is the HUD statement, right? And this is my company, Hands On Homes. You guys can see it. Yeah. Let me see if I can do it this way.
Yeah, if you can make it a little bit bigger. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So this is my company. And then there's 1, 2, 3 parcels of land for a total of $23,000, right? This isn't including, because remember I bought that little trailer I showed you guys in the beginning for $3,000. So $26,000 for everything. I'm gonna spend about another 10 grand to get those little cinder block houses rent ready, about 10 G's. So I'm all in for $36,000, right? Contract sales price, 23 G's. Now, take a look at this. So this is the play. And I love the play. You guys ready for the play? So I'm going to draw this out on a whiteboard so you guys can see it. Because I think it'll be best explained that way. Can I do a whiteboard? You know, I don't do whiteboard too much on here. Okay, maybe I can't. I'll open this. 1 second. So I got a whiteboard I can draw on. So you guys get it. So the purchase price, let me see if I can make this thicker. Can you guys read it? Is this thick enough?
I can see it. It's kind of thin. If you
I know. Let me see if I can make it thicker somehow. Maybe we'll do this type of thing. It's not working. All right, you guys can just hear me and listen out. So the purchase price on that the everything, all 3 parcels of land, as you saw, was $23,000. All right. Now, this is for the land. Let's just say land purchase price. Then the purchase price for the trailer. See, I write and read things backward because I'm dyslexic. The trailer purchase price was $3,000. Okay, so that's a total of 26. And then I'm gonna put rehab of those 3 cinder block built houses, $10,000. So I'm all in. My total cost in is $36,000. This is what some of the investors I know put as a down payment on 1 rental, right? But here are the numbers. You guys ready for this? You're gonna love this. So, how do I explain this and make it clear? I'm not even fancy enough to do a PowerPoint. I'm just such a simple person. It's a good thing and a bad thing, right? So those 3 triplexes, right? Or I call it a triplex, but those 3 cinder block built houses, each one of them can rent out for $600 a month in just rent. Okay. So you got $600. Oh, I'm thinking big. So 600 times 3, that's $1,800 a month. Okay. Then I already had the trailer that I fixed up and rented out. So what is that? 2,400, right? I don't know. 600 times 4. Yeah, 2,400. So basically, I'm earning $2,400. I laugh at this. $2,400 in rent every single month, right? So in 12 months, 2,400 times 12 makes 28,800. So in a little over a year, I'll have my purchase paid off, and then I'm sitting in nothing but cash flow, right? I'm now for the rest of my life. I mean, that gross income is going to come in as long as I'm doing basic stuff, right? So that's just the rent money. Okay, just rent if they're going to rent it from me. Now, I've took some creative classes and I'll show you guys how you can learn this as well. What I do is I do a rent to buy opportunity. Okay, so this is just rent income, rental money. Let's talk about more money. I typically collect an option. So option money. So I so the 3 houses on one parcel, right now I'm working with the county to get them separated on 3 separate parcels, and we'll see if that could happen. But what I know right now is the trailer, that little trailer that I showed you up front, I can charge like I bought it for 3,000, right? But I can charge, or I've already charged a $3,000 option to buy it. So then the people who are going to buy it give me 3 grand. And I'm sorry if I'm confusing you guys. This is a little bit more advanced. So I've made back all my initial investment to buy the trailer. And then like, you know how banks do mortgages, like a 30-year or a 15-year mortgage? I've learned how to do notes. A note is a mortgage. It's the same thing. So I'll do a note for that one trailer. I'll do a note for 49.9. So basically $50,000. And then I'll have the family that's living in there buy the land and the trailer for 50 grand on a note. Instead of doing like a 15-year or a 30-year, I'll do like a 7-year, right? I'll do a 10-year. But if I ever get in a pickle and I really need to like make a big check, well, the group taught me how I can take the note and sell it to a note buyer, right? And I know I might be confusing the beginners on here, but basically the group taught me how to create money out of thin air. The mentors that taught me this stuff, they're like, well, if banks can do it, why can't a regular person do it? And then I was like, yeah, why can't a regular person do it? Well, we can. They just don't teach this in schools. So you have to learn where to get the specialized knowledge. And you guys are in luck because we're going to show you exactly where you can start plugging in and playing if this is what you want to do. I'm ADD. I sucked at regular school. I can't spell stuff. But if real mentors can just tell me what to do, and then I can go do it, I'm like, okay, that works for me. Algebra doesn't work. Geometry was hard. I can't spell, but technology can do all that stuff for me. All I got to do is have the vision and then learn how other people have done it and then copy them. Okay. So all in all, guys, I'm making better returns than the stock market will ever give you. It's all secured. And guess what? Human beings will always need a place to stay. So I'm investing in a space that'll never go away. And it's a great business. You know, I don't have any employees. I don't have to worry about people's health care. And I'm just living off of the cash flow. It's been amazing. All right. I threw a lot at you guys today. And look, it doesn't happen overnight. It took me 7.5 years to figure out my play and my model and how I wanted to do this. But you're different from me. If you like my model, I'd love to be able to help you and you can copy what I'm doing. But my tenants love me because they get the opportunity of homeownership without using a bank. My sellers love me because I just make sure that they're taken care of. And I make money. I'd say it's just crazy, guys, because making money used to be so stressful for me back in the day. Like I'd go to work and give up all of my time, and I'd be working for someone and I hated my boss and I'd be like, dang it, I gotta wake up. To where now, I mean, my thinking has changed hanging out with this community. And I needed to be around other people. Like back in high school when I was hanging out with people smoking weed, you know, I'd be smoking weed in the bathroom, right? I can't lie, because I was like the people I was hanging out with. But then when I started like being with real estate investors that were flipping houses or doing wholesaling or building rental businesses, I was like, dang, I got to keep up with these jokers. human beings keep up. That's what we do. And so what our group has done is just created an empowering environment for people to do just that. Okay. Now let me check the chat box real quick, and then
Umair, wow, talk about an amazing property tour and the things you've done with it. Before it gets to the top of the hour, we got about another 15 minutes to go. If any one of you all are interested in learning exactly how Umair did this and where he's getting his knowledge from, right after this property tour, get back to the person that invited you so that you can get the link so that you can see exactly what Umair is talking about in a little bit more depth. So back to you, Umair.
yeah, absolutely. And guys, there's so many ways of making money in real estate. That's why I chose it, right? Just depends on what your personality is and what your short-term, mid-term, and long-term goals are. Like, just do it. I feel like for me, when I started, I was so emotional. I had to separate the emotion from the logic and just follow the math and the numbers. Okay. I don't love real estate investing. I just love the freedom that it allows me and my family to have. I don't know what you guys love. Like I go to the gym all the time. I work out, I like traveling. I like eating good food. I like hanging out with family. But we only live for such a short existence. We'll be lucky if we get 100 years. And I just ain't got time to be stressed out about this money thing. Like, and even when I started, I noticed I was just trying to chase the money, right? Like I found out about wholesaling. So I was like, oh, I got to wholesale because I have no money or credit. I wasn't thinking about helping other people. I was just thinking about the money. And what I've learned to do is go opposite of what everyone else is doing. Like I'll give you a ton of examples. Like back a couple months ago when the crypto market was going crazy, everybody was like, oh, you got to get into crypto. And all these people got in at the top of the market. And guess what? They lost. And now that it's down, ain't nobody buying it but me. I'm buying it. Now, it's a speculative investment. Real estate is my main thing, but I still play in other stuff. You got to build your wealth. But when everyone and their mom is doing something, do opposite. That has served me so well. And I know you guys have probably heard this, but when push comes to shove, a lot of people don't do it, right? They fall into the fear of missing out, the fear of not having enough, the fear of losing money. Be like a robot. Follow the numbers, separate the emotion, do what I call a SWOT analysis, right? A SWOT analysis is basically when you look at the strengths, the weaknesses, the opportunities, and the threats, and then you move, right? So now what I'm going to do next, I'm going to check the chat box to see if there's questions. If you guys want to hang out with me for another 90 minutes, and I know I could be a little overwhelming because I'm like passionate, you know what I mean? But I'm going to be doing an introduction to how I've copied and used the resources and tools of this group and how you can too, right? I'm going to be going through the business model in its entirety. So let's see. Cool. Also, did you have money to build your business credit? Oh, I love business credit. And you don't need money to build business credit. You need know-how. Bernice, I would like to sit with the group. Do you ever have group meetings? Yeah. I mean, what's cool about this is we get together multiple times a week, whether it's online or it's in person. So I needed to be with people like in the trenches, like not like there's one thing of learning something, but it's a whole different playing field when you're learning and doing. It's an environment, guys. Anything else, guys?
Another one is asking, how did you get the money to invest in the properties?
Yeah, so I'm gonna give you guys the blueprint right now, just from core and then strategy and then growth. I didn't have the money, but there are trillions of dollars in United States retirement accounts not being tapped into. So when I was taught how I can tap into those accounts and provide value to my private capital, then raising capital became really easy. My problem was, guys, is I was like begging people for money because I thought money was the problem. The problem was really me. I wasn't providing enough value to people to have them invest their capital with me. So what I do now is a lot of people have their money in the stock market and it's super emotional, right? Overnight, you can lose 30% of your stock market portfolio, right? Maybe that's happened to some of you guys. Maybe you have your money sitting in a savings account and you're making less than 1%. And I'm going to explain this, but if the rate of inflation is over 7 to 10%, but your bank is only giving you 1%, aren't you losing money? Yes. So instead of having people do that, I explain to them how they can invest with a company like mine, which is 100% secured, and make double-digit returns. It's an offer that's hard to turn down, especially with what's happening in the world right now, right? Everyone, like, when I pay a private capital partner off, they're like, Umair, please, can you take my money again? What else am I going to do with it? So yeah, I've learned how to raise capital. I had to develop myself, and look, you're going to have to develop yourself. When I found the group, I lived in scarcity. I had a victim mentality. I thought that everyone wanted to take advantage of me because that's just how I grew up. You know what I mean? But I had to start shifting those things along with the knowledge, the resources, the tools. So
Some of you all are asking, how is he doing this? You want to find out. Once again, at the top of the hour, he's going to be doing a blueprint, as he said, to show you how he's able to do this deal and other deals and find the money and the funds and also the knowledge as well. So,
and
back to
Anthony, I see a comment from Anthony, right? Anthony, you don't need a mentor, my friend. I thought I needed a mentor. You know what happened to me? I had a guy con me before I found the group. He was like, yeah, I'm a real estate investor, older guy. I'll never forget his name. His name was Edward Barnes. Stay away from Edward Barnes's. Basically, this guy said he would be my mentor and played this game like he was some big shot real estate investor, right? I was working for the school system, and it was really, really hard for me to save money. I had saved up $15,000 because I was really hungry to create freedom for myself. He brought me a fake deal, asked me to lend money to him. I didn't know back then that I needed to secure that money in some form or fashion. And long story short, putting my faith in one person cost me $15,000. That was the best and the worst thing that could have ever happened to me. I don't put my faith in a person. Put your faith in a process, in a system, in people, right? Because that's why when I found the group, I was like, wow, there's lots of mentors and there's lots of ways that I can make it happen. I just got to create the way that works for me. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does for you guys. You don't need a mentor. You need mentors in a system that's proven and has worked over time. Okay. Don't get played, my friends. Know what you're doing before you do it. All right. So for those of you that are a part of the group, take a pen and paper and write this down. This is the play. All right. This is what I did to learn, ask questions, and then build my own model. If you guys want to create massive cash flow, like my goal, and I haven't gotten here yet, my goal is to be at $30,000 of gross revenue by the end of this year. Okay. Now I'm moving and moving fast. And wish me luck. I'm pushing for it, guys. I'm like, what, a couple $1,000s away, but we'll see if it happens. So if you have pen and paper, I would recommend you guys write these down. Damien, I love how you have faith. That's what I love most about Damien, right? He puts his faith in God, and God always provides for him. I love it. And thank you guys for the encouragement. I'm going to work hard for it. So there's three sections that you're going to want to understand here. And this is the blueprint or the courses that I used. And I'm going to try to draw them out, but my scribble scrabble sucks. So this is the core learning right here. There was, I learned about the self-directed IRAs and 401ks, right? There's that class that we have. And then I did title, escrow, and closing. Title and closing. So I can learn all the paperwork before I close the deal. There's the contracts. Okay, contracts coursework. Then there was creative acquisitions, because I wanted to really understand all the different ways that I can buy these properties without using banks. So creative acquisitions. And then there was tax and legal day 1 and day 2, because I really wanted to understand how I was going to set up all my entities so I can minimize my tax burden. So this is the core stuff that really helped me. This is like what I call phase 1, okay? Now, phase 2 was the strategy stuff. Strategy, can't even spell, and I gotta go because we gotta start our other meeting. So there's something called a class called Big Cash Flow Little Houses by one of the mentors. His name is Bill Omi. So I'll just say Big Cash Flow. He used me as an example because I was his guinea pig when creating this. So Big Cash Flow Little Houses. Then it was private and hard money. Because when you don't have money and you can't go to a bank, you got to understand how private and hard money works. And then in addition to private and hard money, there's raising capital and partnerships. That's a class. Raising money. And then these are the core stuff. There's understanding notes and how mortgages works. So there's notes day 1, notes day 2, and then advanced notes. And each one of these classes were like 5 to 8 hours long, right? But what I liked is everything was at my own pace and time. So I was like, all right, bet. Let me create my plan. Let me ask a ton of questions and let me build my model. So there's the notes stuff. There's 1, 2, and 3. And then there's contract for deed. Okay, so how to be the bank without worrying about foreclosures. So there's core. So this is phase 1. Then there's phase 2. And then in phase 3 is the growth stuff. So after you have money in businesses, right? It's not where it stops. That's not where it stops. Then you have to separate yourself from doing the stuff, right? So this is the phase 3 stuff. So there's and some of you guys, if you haven't taken this and you're a part of the group, dude, these are gold. It's the business and V banking class, because they teach you how to structure and pay down the assets really fast, and then how to create your own family bank. Like, I just had my first baby, and I'm so grateful that when she needs her first car, I'm not going to go to like Bank of America to get a loan. I'm going to have my baby girl take a loan from our family bank. Okay. But this has been big for growth, growing the business. Then there's business automation. And that whole process, they taught me how to plan out automating my business, because it was really important to me, because I really wanted to have the freedom, and that's why I got into this. So the other growth stuff is so we have right now, we have 68 units total. Hopefully I hit 100 soon, whatever it takes to hit that $30,000 a month in revenue. But there's something called cost segregation. And as you have all these deals, you can do what's called straight line depreciation. But if you want to save more on taxes, then cost seg is going to be big to you guys. Yeah, Bobby, Bank of America. Uh-huh. That's what I'm talking about. And then the other growth class was, what was it? I didn't write it down. It was the, integrated growth and development. It's Mark Kohler's one, in profits. So this is all mostly profits. Because remember, profits is for growth. Essentials is core. AIT is strategy. You guys with that? Core, strategy, profit. Core, strategy, profit. It's like the Holy Trinity, Damien. I got jokes today, bro. I got all 3.
Man, we got about 6 more minutes before the top of the hour. And if you want to know more information, you want to see more in depth and detail, Emuer's going to share that with you in about 7 minutes or so. So back.
Yeah, guys, I got to roll. I hope this was helpful. Even if you don't use our system, do something, right? Right now, everyone's getting played and getting taken advantage of, but you gotta be in an environment that empowers you, and a process that's worked over and over and over and over again. I wish you guys much success.
Get back with the person that invited you to this property tour so they can give you the Zoom link so that you can attend what's going to be shown in the next 7 or 8 minutes.
It's going to be about 90 minutes, detailed.